less like fall than it has the last couple of days, Jennifer. We maybe can take the jackets off by the afternoon. But we're talking about fall colors this morning.
Yeah, in fact, some places already seeing some patches of color. In fact, we started to see just a few patches of color as early as late August. Now, some of that is attributed to stressors that trees undergo from potentially insects or disease, and also some drought conditions. But this is how it all happens. Essentially, during the month of September, we get less daylight, less sunshine, and so that drops the production of chlorophyll in trees, and that's what gives those leaves the beautiful green shades of color. Now, once that happens, we tend to eventually see those shades of yellow, oranges, and reds kind of shine through, essentially typically around late September, extending into middle of October. Ideal conditions in the month of September should be with some sunny as well as mild days and some cooler nights. A warm spell or a cooler spell could impact those colors. And so far for the month of September, we've had a bit of a hot spell for about 4 days earlier in this month, where we had 2 days in the upper 80s and then 2 days in the lower 90s right around Labor Day. But since last Wednesday, the 6th, we've seen a decline with those temperatures. In fact, most of this week in the 50s with below normal temperatures, some cloudy skies, and a little bit of light rain. There are other weather impacts, though, that could easily affect the color display in a given year. And one of those is the drought conditions. In fact, we already started seeing drought conditions in June, and it's progressed to now severe drought conditions across the far west end of the UP, highlighted in orange. This is where we're sitting at. Now, with that being the case, when we have drought conditions, we tend to see an earlier change with those colors of the leaves. The colors start off a little bit patchy, and overall the display can be a little bit more dull. And the season of the color displays in the areas that have seen drought conditions could be a little bit shorter, so not super long in a small time span. Ideally, we would like to have more of an average precipitation throughout the course of summer leading up to fall to kind of keep those trees a little bit healthier. And then as far as temperatures in September, hot days or a hot stretch of weather will delay the change of the colors. They'll also create more dull colors. A colder spell will generally trigger a faster change and a faster drop in the leaves. So this year, what we are expecting is changing of the leaves on the west end of the UP to start around the 27th of September through about October 4th. Remember, we just talked about the drought conditions along the Wisconsin state line. So within those counties, Skowhegan, Iron counties, potentially Menominee counties and Ontonagon counties, the colors there could be a little bit more dull and the season could be a little bit shorter. The central UP will have a season of around the 4th through about the 11th. And then for the east end of the UP, we're looking at peak colors to be around the 11th through about the 18th. Now, this is kind of fluid. This is not an exact science and is really dependent on the conditions. So we're going to see how this pans out here in the next 2 weeks.
Well, we know if the leaves drop sooner, we'll have some more time to rake them before the snow comes, right?
So true.
That's true, yes.
We'll take some extra days if that's what we get this year. Jennifer, thank you. Well, coming up, the spotlight is on the latest artist to sell